One thing I'm gonna let y'all know, hands down, is while I was incarcerated, I seen some of the nastiest things I've ever witnessed inside of prison. For this one here, we're gonna be taking it back to confinement, when I was doing a stretch for getting caught with a cell phone, and I seen these inmates have a feces war. So let's go ahead and get into it. Same time of the week, let it be there. Have my people send a message, make sure that it's there. Time for me to collect, bring the shit over here, cause you can tell them my face, don't make me come over there. I'll run up in your room, put my shank in your neck, swear to God I wet you up, better show me respect. I'm hitting licks like nothing, break bread with dogs. Putting on for east side, David, this K-fraud, it's a robbery. Heard what I said, I got some names I won't say. Most of them dead, for that tune you get, there's a price on your head. Take the shit out your locker, throw it all on my bed. You got a daughter back you up, on care what you click. 2 lockers to fit both y'all shit. See me in the cut jamming, smoking the rip, getting tatted with the money that your people are sent. See on the streets I would've bust you, but in prison I come cut you. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K-Fraud TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Want to tell everybody, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning in, almost everything I talk about over here is either jail or prison related, and it's not because I idolize prison or I like to brag about it. It's just I like people to learn what prison's truly like and what they may experience from the things that I've seen, witnessed, and experienced throughout my bid when I was once incarcerated down here in Florida. Okay, for this video here, I'm gonna be talking about how 2 inmates ended up getting themselves into a feces war. For those that don't know, there's a lot of dirty and a lot of nasty, grimy things that go on inside of prison. You never know what somebody will do to harm you. You never know what somebody will do to get something from you. And you never know what somebody will use as a weapon. Now, I already know everybody's already heard of the Glock Dookie. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, people use feces as a weapon when you were locked up. All right, now on this specific day, I found myself incarcerated, and it just started off as a horrible day. I knew it was gonna be bad just because the way that it was already running itself, all right? And I'm gonna break it down and let you know how it all went down and how these 2 inmates found themselves at war, throwing feces at one another. Now, first thing you're probably wondering is, damn, well, you're in confinement. So, you know, how are people able to have a feces war? Well, on this day here, the guards gave us our trays early in the morning, and they were cold. All right, for those that don't know, people in confinement learn to, you know, buck and cause attention and want to run it with the police over cold trays. And it isn't because the food came out cold. It was just the fact that the guards will leave that food cart sitting right there for about an hour and a half before they serve it to you. And us inmates can see our food cart sitting out there. You see what I'm saying? So by the time we get it, it is cold because them guards are taking their sweet ass time instead of feeding everyone their trays. So it all started over a tray. One inmate owed another inmate a tray. And when you're in confinement, the only way that you can give that tray to that individual is if during time when they come around for chow, that you have the runaround, which is the confinement orderly, put your tray in that other inmate's flap, which is the cutout inside of the door where your tray goes, where they feed you, because you do not come out of your cell and eat when you're in confinement. So he paid the dude his tray. You understand that? He owed him. But there was an argument back and forth from, you know, cell to cell due to the fact that the trays were cold, that inmate still owed him a tray. Now, I will put my opinion in, and I'm going to let you know. If I pay you a tray and I owe you a tray and that shit was cold, it is what it is, dog. It ain't my fault. You get what I'm saying? But one thing I will let you know for sure is I do not owe you another tray. You understand? I feel like you're trying me if you think that I'm giving you another tray. So you think you just get to keep my cold one for the hell of it? That you just got that tray? Like it's my fault that the guards did that? Hell no. So the inmate who was being accused of owing another tray, he did the right thing. He stood up for himself, and they started arguing from, you know, door to door. Talking about, I don't owe you shit, boy, that's your tray right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the tray. I owed you my next tray. That's the tray right there. You know, yada, yada. And the other dude's like, hell nah, bro, this cold ass shit, blah, 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 blah. Now, hey, I mean, a deal is a deal. You know, if you say that I owe you my next tray, whatever comes on that motherfucker, you get it. You know, it's a 50-50 draw. You know, it might be something good to where I miss out, or it might be something bad to where I'm like, go ahead, you can have that one. You know, so due to the misunderstanding of, you know, the trays of who owes who and if the debt's cleared or whatever it is. Them boys were arguing back and forth. Now at the same time, since they bucked us and gave us such cold trays, all the inmates decided to buck their flap. For someone that's been to prison, y'all know what that is. And for someone that hasn't, let me break it down for you. Bucking the flap means putting your arm outside the flap, refusing to let them close your little flap. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, you lean on it, you sit on it. Everybody was damn near in the quad was damn near bucking their flap, refusing to let the guards close their flap. You see what I'm saying? And because of the cold trays, everyone was like mad at the guards. I'm gonna be real with you. It was patty. We had like, you know, a beef patty. It was some damn beans and a piece of cake. I was over there eating my cold shit. You know, I know how to, it is what it is. I'm a Viking, you feel me? Cold, hot, medium, warm, whatever it is, bruh. At the end of the day, we can't do shit about it. It isn't like they're gonna take our tray and go get us fresh ones. You know, there's nothing you could do about the fact that your tray is cold. There's nothing at all. There is not one possible chance that you were gonna get that tray any different than how you just got it. Literally, just like if you were missing something on the tray. If everybody got apples and you didn't get an apple, and you tell them, hey man, I ain't get no apple on my tray, man. They're not going to get you your apple. You understand? It's very, 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 very rare that they will go get whatever item you were missing. You feel me? And that shit does not happen. So after a while, when you realize it doesn't happen, you stop complaining. So while these dudes are arguing, everyone's bucking the flap, what am I doing? I'm sitting back eating my cold ass sandwich, my cold ass patty sandwich, boy. I'm at shit. You know, my stomach been growling since yesterday. You know? And they're arguing back and forth. So next thing you know, the two dudes that owed each other, you know, the tray that were, you know, going at it over the plate, as they're arguing, they start throwing shit. First, they start throwing dead batteries. You know what I'm saying? Like from MPs or the ones that you use to light, you know, whatever you're smoking. They start chucking dead batteries at each other's cell, talking shit. Then next comes styrofoam cups. And as I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, these boys are going at it. You know, the outside of the cell, you know, like the walkway where everyone, you know, on the outside walks, like the orderlies, the guards, you know, where they walk around and shit, starts getting more dirty and dirtier. Now that the flap's open, everybody's throwing out all their trash, you know. And I was one of them type of people that every time they gave me my tray with my styrofoam cup, I never threw my cup back out the flap. I always made a stack of them in the corner, so that bitch would pile up. And when people have their flap open, they'll tend to, you know, they don't want you to have that many cups in your room. You know, you're only supposed to have your one cup to get your drink. So when the flaps are open, people will throw their whole row of, I'm talking about 60 cups have been stacked for the last fucking like 30 days. You know, because you get a couple a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You get a styrofoam cup every, you know what I'm saying? They'll throw that whole long ass, look like a noodle that you use in a pool. But it's styrofoam cup stacked. You know, they'll throw all that shit out there, make a mess and stuff. You feel me? So as these dudes are arguing, it's little by little, you know, I'm just sitting back, leaning, looking through my little window, listening to these dudes argue, yell and shit like that, going back and forth. They were on the top tier where I was. You know, we were on the top of the dorm. And when the flaps open, you know, talking's way louder than it is normally. You know, like if I'm behind the door and I'm trying to talk to you and you're over there in that cell and I'm like, yeah, bro, da-da-da. Yeah, you can hear me, but it sounds like something's over my mouth a little bit. You feel me? With that flap open, you hear everything. It's like a perfect, people be talking through the flap right here and it just sounds like so perfect due to that little bit of ventilation inside to get into the cell. So next thing you know, these dudes go to arguing, they go to calling each other names after they were throwing shit. And before you know it, I just see something splash and stick to, you know, the door. And I'm like, damn, what, you know, I'm thinking at first maybe he just, you know, threw his, you know, juice or, you know, his nectar that they give you. Feel me? I'm thinking that maybe he just splashed that or whatever. Next thing you know, he like, oh man, you got me fucked up. So then that dude starts being quiet for a second. And then about 30 seconds later, all of a sudden you see a big old chunk of shit, look like mud, hit that dude's window, bro, and just sit there, bro, and like ride down it like it splattered. And I'm like, oh, these dudes, I'm telling my bunkie, I'm like, hey, these boys are throwing, you know, feces right now. He's like, nah, and he gets up and we looking. And I don't know how, you know, what it was. I guess when he went silent, them couple seconds is when he took the shit. But they had so much, you know,
piss and shit, that their bunkies had to be involved. Because once that happened, once the first one threw the piss, then the second one threw the shit, next thing you know, you see piss and shit going back, and then piss and shit again, and then just piss, and then just shit. And I'm thinking like, how are these dudes not running out of piss and shit? You feel me? So the one dude who got the extra tray, he was quiet for a little while. So he must have scarfed down them trays real quick, hoping he'd have to shit and reload. You feel me? And they've been through the trays out. Like the trays, those were something they first threw out at each other. Like tried to push it out the flap. Thinking like, oh, like it was meant to go at that dude, but he's behind a door. You know, let's be real. Right now they're being, you know, door warriors. They're, you know, they're rapping and they're selling out behind, you know, the door and shit like that. You feel me? But that's all they really can do. But one thing I will say is, as they were going back and forth throwing that piss and shit, and they were talking shit, they were like getting this close to getting hit. Because they would say something in the flap, and then when they'd come up to the door to see him go to the flap, say something, they were throwing things. And right, I'd say after about 4 or 5 exchanges, the dude said something, and he went down like he was gonna say something. He came back up, and then he went down to say something, and he got hit right in his face with it was a cup full of piss with shit in it. He got hit right in his face, and you see him jump straight back and wipe his whole face, and then the dude who threw it was like, yeah, how that shit taste? How that shit taste? And that was the dude who owed the tray still, apparently, to the other guy. So he's like, how that shit taste? There's your second tray. There's your other tray. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting back like, these dudes are having a full-blown feces war. Now, the crazy thing of it all is the smell, okay? Once the smell and the odor started going, everybody in the dorm started selling out to them 2 dudes, including me and my bunkie. We, you know, everybody got on the door and started telling them, oh, you dirty ass motherfuckers, da 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 da. You know, started selling out and calling them names. And them boys, like, were talking shit, trying to defend themselves, but at the same time, they were picking and choosing who to rap with. The orderlies came in, and the guards, and the orderly threw up because of the smell, the odor of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're the ones that got to clean it up, not the guards. So the orderlies, boy, were telling them, man, y'all got smoke with me now. When I get my hands on y'all see, I'm gonna give you a ghost tray, fuck nigga, da 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 da. That's how the orderly was talking to these dudes. You get what I'm saying? Because that's, like who I said, those are the ones that clean up the stuff. The guards ain't gonna clean nothing up. They're just gonna have their orderlies go in there and clean it. You feel me? So you're literally making it to where inmates gotta pick this shit up after you because y'all are arguing over some shit that the guards did by not giving the food out. You know what I'm saying? So it could have all been prevented. You see what I'm saying? Because if the guards would have gave the food out at the right time, the flaps wouldn't have been bucked. You know, nobody would have bucked the flap, and that dude wouldn't have been complaining about the tray being cold and saying the other dude still owed him a tray. You see what I'm saying? That's why it all breaks down to where if they would have just been on top of it a little bit quicker, you know, all this shit could have been avoided. You see what I'm saying? They would have got their food on time. It would have been warm. The flaps wouldn't have been bucked. So they never would have been open. Everyone would have closed them perfectly and let the guards close them. And then he would have got his tray. Them boys wouldn't have been arguing. There wouldn't have been no feces thrown. The damn orderlies wouldn't have had to pick it up. You see, all this could have been prevented. You feel me? And this shit went on. I'm talking about for like, I'd say 12 minutes. 12 to 15 minutes, this whole thing went on to where everybody's tray was out there around their door from pushing their tray out. You know, normally the guards come around with the orderly, with the cart, they open your flap, give you your tray, you know what I'm saying? Or they might close it right then and there, depending on who the guard is, or they'll go around with their key and just open all the flaps. And then the orderly is a little ways behind them with the cart, and then they put it in there, boom. Boom, boom, because the orderly's not allowed to open or close your flap. The guard's got to come do it. So if the orderly puts your tray in your flap and your flap's still down, the guard has to, you know, come around and reclose them all and then reopen them to get your empty tray now and then close them again. So some guards will leave your flap open during chow time. You see? And then when it's time to collect your tray, they'll collect the tray and then they'll close your flap. People were bucking the flaps. There was no closing these shits, even though everybody was done eating. And like I said, my shit tastes good, cold and all. I know how to, man, at the end of the day, man, I'm not no dummy, bro. You feel me? I'm not going to sit here and act like it's gonna make a difference. It isn't, you know? So it's like, I'm gonna deal what I gotta deal with and just charge that shit to the game. If I would have stayed out of trouble on the compound, I wouldn't have been in the box dealing with cold food. That's simple. So me being in the box is my problem, is my reason, and it's my own fault that I gotta get tried and give cold trays, bro. That's, you know, I'm smart enough to understand that I'm the problem. If I never landed in the box, I wouldn't be getting these cold trays today. But here I am for something I did, and it is what it is, you feel me? But I'll tell you what, that day right there was one of the nastiest days I've ever had inside of confinement, okay? And I'm talking about, it stank. The odor was so potent that, like, man, we wrapped our fucking a shirt around our face. You know, my bunkie had a sheet over him and everything, and he had his face a little covered up, bro. And it was like so potent that it felt like it was in our nose, like the odor came in our nostrils and just sat there, bro. It was like crazy. And if you just barely breathe it in a little bit, it make you gag, bro. Make your eyes water like you want to throw up, bro. And it was just crazy. It was like, I don't know what they mixed in they shit, or what it was they ate, or what it was that they did that made that shit so potent like that. But it was like crazy, you know, smelling another person's shit. Such a strong odor made it nasty, you know, and them boys were throwing that shit back and forth. Them bunkies had to be involved, bro, for as much shit and piss was in there. But them boys ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I would have snapped on my bunker. Like, hey, man, hell nah, bro, ain't none of that shit. I would have gotten away and be like, hey, man, check this shit out, man. Y'all fuck niggas, stop throwing shit at my door. Da, da, da. I would have got in and said something and told them. I would have even told my bunkie, hey, man, hell nah. Like, I would have snapped on my bunkie and probably ended up fighting my bunkie, dog. Just because you got this whole shit smelling like shit. If it smelled that bad from in my cell, I'm sure it was horrible in the 2 cells that it hit. The 2 doors that it all landed on. You get what I'm saying? And I wanted to come on here and share that with y'all to break it down so that way y'all can let me know if y'all have ever witnessed anything like that. Have y'all ever seen people have a feces war? You know, and if you have, if you were close enough, then you know how horrible it can smell and how bad it is. You feel me? And at the end of the day, I feel like everybody had a wrong part in it, okay? That one dude who got the tray, he was wrong for thinking the other guy owed him another tray. It wasn't that dude's fault that he got a cold tray. See, it would have been different if they gave him his tray and then he waited a couple hours to send it to that dude's cell. Now it's kind of like, hey, bro, you tried me, bro. You gave me this cold ass shit. Because the guard want to give it to him, or the runaround want to give it to him for him, so he had to cuff it and wait till next shift to give it to him somehow. You know what I'm saying? Then it would have been like, nah, bro, you know, you ain't get, you feel me? But the fact that you got a cold tray on your regular tray, along with the tray I owed you was cold. You feel me? Like, we're bucking the flaps right now because we're getting cold food. It ain't my fault that the day I owe you a tray happens to fall on the same day that they buck us and give us cold food. It doesn't make it to where, oh, deal's off on your end now. No, I owe you my next hot tray. No, it don't work like that. You feel me? So, like, everybody was kind of, like, wrong in a ways, but they had a good point. You feel me? Like, I'd feel like, damn, well, you littling me a little bit if you gave me a cold-ass sandwich instead of a hot sandwich. You know, I'd feel like, damn, if you had the choice of giving me a hot one or a cold one, and you gave me a cold one, I'd be like, nah, bro, you trying me, bro. Hell no, bro, because you feel like if you were to eat that sandwich, you would have ate it hot, but you gave it to me when it was cold. You feel me? But due to the fact that the guards were the reason the food was cold, I mean, I would have been like, damn, dog, you know, I got to charge that to the game. I really want the tray he owes me, so it's like, fuck it, let me get that. And back there in confinement, man, you starving, you know what I'm saying? So any little thing helps. You know what I'm saying? You be back there sucking on a peanut butter squeeze, boy, hoping to get every little strain out of that, you know what I'm saying? Using your ID to, you put the packet down, use your ID to scrape the top of that peanut butter pack. Boy, you trying to get every little dib and dab out of there you can. And it ain't just with peanut butter packs. You do the same shit with mustard, ketchup, anything you get your hands on. You feel me? You be back there starving. So it's like, boy, be happy he's paid you that. You know what I'm saying? And the feces situation was the craziest. So I want to share it with y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Me personally, I never really got in a feces war. You know what I'm saying? I never really did. But there was one time in the county jail that I did throw feces on somebody, you know, and then I threw some under their door for talking shit, you feel me? But other than that, I never really been like You know how you hear about, you know, people running up on you with shit and stuff like that. It happens. It can happen, but it's very rare that you will see it. You understand? But anyways, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all drop in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Have y'all ever been involved or participated in any type of war like this? Or have y'all ever seen people go to war like that? And what's your thoughts and what do you think about it? Me, I'm just a messenger. Hope y'all enjoyed the story. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out if you ain't hit it on the way in. And like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. Till next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though. Cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.